Good evening, fight fans, and welcome to this PVGL Street Fighter 4 match commentary. I'm Iron Ike, and with me, as always, is the pilot Jenny to my Bucky O'Hare Specs. How are ya?
I need to keep my powers hidden, so don't tell anyone.
Love it. So, I am pretty darned excited about this. I feel like we say this pretty, well, just about every video, but we don't see a whole lot of XYZ, and the XYZ in this case is Judy. We're looking at her right there. These are some online matches with Deads29. He's the uploader. We're going to get to see him play a bunch of people with his Judy, and should be a good time. What can you tell us about Judy, Carlos?
Well, I only know one local Judy. I know that she's a half-decent fireball character, although definitely different from the norm, as she has to prep her fireballs beforehand and keep the buttons held down. She's a low-health kind of rushdown character, but she can zone a little bit with those fireballs. So we'll see how that works against a zoning character like Ryu.
Yeah, for sure. So she's putting on a lot of pressure on the new Super Bat here, but he's not having too much trouble with it. What's she going to do? She's going to wake up and eat the fireball and lose round one. So that's a shame. But they're just starting. Just getting the feel for each other, so let's see what happens in round two.
I'm actually not sure what Judy could have done to escape that chip there. I'm not sure if her EX pinwheel kick is fireball invincible at all. But in round two here, hopefully she won't get into that situation. Pushes Ryu right back into the corner real quick, but wheel kicks her way under him and gets crossed up yet again.
Yeah, for sure. So both players have a full stick of butter, so hopefully we'll see some supers, particularly Judy's. I like hers quite a bit. Just a big fun combo, including a bunch of fireballs that fill the screen, so good stuff there. So, yeah, keeping Ryu in the corner, but the new super... Oh, here it is! He's going to duck under most of it. She didn't quite manage to actually combo into it. Shame.
Yeah, quite a bit of that super hits high. I'm not even sure if it'll combo if the other person is in crouching hit stun. I'm not sure if any of those hits force a stand out of them. But our new Super Bad takes the first match here with his Ryu.
Yeah, without too much trouble there. One other thing I should mention is that at the time that Deads29 was playing, he had apparently just switched to Judy. It was his new main. She's his new main. So he's still figuring stuff out, and that's good. It'll be good to see a little bit of hopefully see a bit of a progression here. So he's choosing Ultra 2, which is, and I always forget, that's the actual damaging Ultra, not the Feng Shui engine, right?
That is correct. Feng Shui engine is the first Ultra.
Excellent. So she's lining up against we don't know who, the new Super Bad again. Yeah, for sure. But he's playing Cody.
Yeah, I wonder if new Super Bad has multiple mains and perhaps is using this opportunity to allow Deads to practice.
Yeah, for sure. It's quite possible. So, I haven't played Cody very much at all. I've certainly played against a few Codys, and while he doesn't have... He's got sort of a slow movement speed. He seems like he's a little bit trickier rather than... I don't know, it seems like you have to work pretty hard to make him effective, but he can be extremely effective. He's got some good moves, so I'm always worried when somebody chooses him.
Yeah, in my experience, Cody has some half-decent normals, but they can't just be thrown out there. You have to use the right one for the right situation. He's got quite a few decent combos as well, and his new tool in Street Fighter 4, the Zonk Knuckle, gives him a way to go through fireballs, a tool that he never really needed before because he has his own fireball and ways to get in. So he's one of those sleeper characters that I think is just waiting for the right player to come and win a major with. I don't think he has yet.
Yeah, I certainly haven't seen it, and I'd love to. He's really interesting, kind of fun to watch. Simply as far as character aesthetics go, it's kind of fun to see him wandering around looking bored the whole time and kicking ass. There's a EX Zonk Knuckle that you were talking about. It's a lightning quick, does good damage, and cancelable. Pretty good move.
Yeah, for sure. And he does not combo into Ultra 1 there, which unfortunately means that Judy can very easily trip him and take round 1. So round 2 here, we start off with both players just kind of hanging around. I don't see a lot of Codys going for the knife, unfortunately. A big Cody unique mechanic that nobody seems to really want.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It takes, oh wow, C and Bell, so looks like Deads29 is in trouble for this the second round. But yeah, back to the knife. I'd like to see it used more. It takes just a split second to pick it up, and you've got that extra quick fireball, but also, of course, it does a chip damage with all of his standing and encroaching normals, even his airborne normals, as far as I know, right? All the punches.
Yeah, all of the moves that involve the knife do chip damage, which is quite a nice thing to have. Plus, some of the normals change properties in rather favorable ways, but maybe that's why a lot of Codys don't do it. Street Fighter 4 is one of those games where you're really rewarded for knowing your frames and your ranges and what combos into what, so it's entirely possible that information for a lot of Codys is just overwhelming. The new Superbad does not seem to be overwhelmed by Cody's awesomeness, though. He took round 2 there really easily, even if he's trapped in the corner right now.
He's in no hurry to get out of it, though. I'm sure you were watching, and he did 4 or 5 focus attacks all at the same time. I don't know if he's just goofing around or trying to bait Dead's 29 in for something or other, but fun to watch. He really likes those focus attacks. Cody's focus is a pretty good move. It's got pretty good range. It comes out relatively quickly, so that's certainly not a bad thing to do. Although we missed him with the crumple in that first round, and then ended up costing him. Anyway, we're right down to the last 25-30%, and match point for either of them.
That was interesting that the high crack kick missed that dive kick. The dive kick looks like it hits at just the right angle for that move to hit. Cody guessed it this time, but the move recovers fast enough for him to be safe. Does one of those cyclone upper moves. There's a lot of safety on that move. He can lead with a crouching light kick into like the light cyclone upper, and that's a pretty easy and chip damage inducing way to kind of just test the water and confirm. So it doesn't help him though, as Dead's Judy this time takes the second match.
Yeah, but I can't say that it was particularly impressive on for either player. He still seems to be figuring stuff out. Certainly isn't comboing a lot. We're seeing a lot of one hits and knockdowns and a lot of back and forth, which is actually good. It makes it a little bit more exciting. But I think he's still clearly figuring stuff out. So he's lining up here against Guy.
Yeah, and it's the same guy. It's no pun intended. It's the real super bad. That was his name. Yes,
I think so. Yeah.
The new Superbad, that's what I said every time.
Indeed.
So we'll see how many characters the new Superbad knows how to play.
Yeah, for sure. That's always funny. It's maybe not ideal to jump around a lot if you are serious about being good at just about any fighting game, but it does make it a lot more fun. It's certainly the way I like to play. I love this. Guy clearly brings a set of barrels to every match with him just so he can kick them and then cross his arms.
Well, as ninjas are apt to do, they need to show some kind of power, some kind of intimidation, and why not kick down a few barrels to do exactly that? The fact that there might be delicious chicken inside is just gravy. And speaking of gravy, we have Judy here, getting Guy into the corner. He fights his way out with a few light punches into a combo that doesn't actually go anywhere. Gets a focus crumple, but doesn't really lead it into anything.
Yeah, he didn't manage to finish up that target combo. Cancel there into the shoulder pressure, but that doesn't pay off. The Judy player is just sort of tapping back and forth in the middle of the screen for some reason. Again, still getting a lot of back and forth. Ouch. Kind of painful to eat the whole pinwheel kick on Wake Up there, though.
Yeah, it's a real good wake-up tool. It starts real quick, but it's out there for 8 years if it misses, so Judy players have to be careful using it. It does do quite a bit of chip, though, given it hits so many times. This is kind of a fun match to watch, I gotta tell you. Two kind of high-speed, mobile characters able to control a lot of screen space at once. Very fun, but Guy takes the first round.
For sure. Certainly don't disagree. So we've got full super bar from our Guy player. I know that combo you can cancel into it, and it does a ton of damage if you hit with the whole thing. Say the same thing about Judy, though. This is going to hit, but not... Or it'll hit fully. Was that the whole thing? That couldn't have been the whole thing.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. Guy's super is specifically tailored to take people out of the air for quite a bit of damage. And quite a bit of damage is exactly what it does to Judy. That was the second third of her bar. And she's a bit in a critical situation right now. She's got a full super and ultra, but Guy has his ultra charged. And the new super bad is showing that he knows where to place his attacks when to catch Judy.
Yeah, he baited this out, and it's definitely not going to pay off. I would have liked to have seen Guy's Ultra just to watch it, but that'll be the end of that. I was actually a little bit surprised and a little worried for our Judy player that, Judy spends quite a bit of time in the air. At least she's got a lot of tools from being airborne. And I was expecting to see guys air grab, which does so much damage. But we didn't see it at all, so maybe we'll see it in this coming round. Assuming he chooses Guy, I'm going to assume that that won't actually be the case.
Yeah, Guy's air grab is very damaging. It's one of those moves where it's like, whoa, man, how much damage did that stuff just do? And it's really one of those moves that's rather alarming to get caught into. But Judy does move around the air real quick, so maybe we'll see another Judy versus another Guy somewhere in our match commentary adventures and see just how that move does stack up against her. But now, the new Superbad is switching to Akuma.
Yeah, so we got a couple of rushdown characters. Judy's actually got the benefit in terms of health, right? I think it's just 50 points, but still, it's certainly higher than Akuma's. Yeah,
I think she has the edge there. And both characters, both rushdown, kind of... one is very mix-up heavy. The other, I'm not sure how many mix-ups Judy really has, but I'm thinking we'll see a decent match here.
Yeah, I certainly hope so, though... It's starting off a little bit slowly. Somebody was making a sandwich and running back to the controller, but here we go. So, a couple of pokes, not really hitting any combos. We're not linking anything up. Standing hurricane kicks across the ground. I kind of feel like our Akuma player is going for the same combo over and over and over and repeatedly missing it, but I could be wrong.
Well, I'm not sure if he has anything that'll force a stand, so I'm not sure if linking right into the Hurricane is quite the best choice there. But regardless, he knows his pokes and he knows his distances, so Dead's Judy does get pushed into the corner and KO'd for round one.
Yeah, she was way out-poked there. Judy's got quite a few decent pokes, and they seem to come at kind of unusual angles. I've certainly had trouble blocking them in the past, but having said that... It's tough to find a character with more of them that are quicker and more useful than Akuma. So I think she's having some trouble here. What Judy has to do, of course, in this situation is not get overwhelmed by Akuma's ability to mix up. And Judy is well equipped for that. She's mobile. She has a counter that actually moves her around and tools her, and most of her specials like either serve to stop the opponent movement or move her as well. So I think she's well equipped for this matchup. It's just a matter of being careful because the Akuma player, he's using a character who has a lot of bang for his buck, and that was almost a terrible tragedy, that Ultra. Yeah, for sure. I thought for a second that it was absolutely brilliant because he's somehow going to catch her on the way down, but Raging Diva's just a little too quick. The new Superbad's really having trouble putting her away. There we go. Last little bit. Oh, I should say Dead's just having trouble putting away the new Superbad. It felt like our Akuma player was at that much health for the longest time. Here we go, match point. Full Super Bar from Akuma. Hopefully we see the other Raging Demon here.
He does have the full stick of butter, as you so eloquently put it, charged up and ready to go, and now he has the other one going as well. So Judy's got to be fairly careful here. There were a couple times in the last round where she kind of just did one of her highly mobile moves and ran into Akuma's foot or fist, and that is a real possibility for her as she moves quite quickly, and his hit area on his moves are quite generous.
Yeah, for sure. I actually fully expected to have seen it a second ago when we saw Akuma Crumpler. And that answers the question you asked earlier, whether or not the stand-up EX pinwheel. This is clearly not going to... Wow. She almost came down right in front of him. That EX pinwheel does have some invincibility, it looks like, so that question answered. Right down to the wire here, like 5% health each one. Ridiculous to go through the fireball that way, but it paid off somehow.
That was a really good read by Deads. Dive kicked over the fireball at the end and went into Judy's follow-up. Yeah, I was wondering about that Raging Demon as well. I thought perhaps there was some trickery going to happen where he was then going to throw out the super and catch her, but nice. in the end it didn't really lead anywhere. And Deads' Judy has learned a lesson or three, and hopefully we'll see more of Deads' Judy in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for uploading those videos for us to commentate. I'm out.
Yes, this has been Specs and Iron Ike. Specs is also out. Take it easy, folks.